Right friends, welcome back to capsule number 6, and from this week onwards we are continuing these capsules with the topic names. All the 6 capsules will have topic names. Previously we used to have one capsule as news in focus and the other capsule as read between the lines, but here the disadvantage is if we are writing read between the lines or news in focus, topic name is not reflected on the thumbnail. So accordingly, from this week we switched over to naming each and every capsule. So capsule number 1 to 6 all will have topic name, right? So this topic, this is the last one for the week. This is on carbon dioxide levels at 400 ppm, 400 parts per million. This is carbon dioxide at 400 ppm. Recently, a report was given by World Meteorological Organization. You may ask, where is the World Meteorological Organization? It is an intergovernmental organization with 191 member states and a specialized agency of United Nations and headquartered in Geneva, Switzerland, originated from International Meteorological Organization. The previous name was International Meteorological Organization, which was established in 1873, and basically it looks at weather and climate. So World Meteorological Organization recently gave report that during 2015, global carbon dioxide levels breached 400 parts per million. And if you go back to pre-industrial era means you have to go back to 1750 or 1800. Around 1750, that means around 250 years ago, carbon dioxide levels were 280 parts per million. They increased to 400 parts per million. And in 2015, global CO2 levels breached 400 parts per million. Not only that, during 2016, it is going to exceed 400 ppm per full year. If you look at the full year is concerned, 2016 full year, the global CO2 levels will be more than 400. And in 2015, this 400 ppm level was breached for some part of the year, but during 2016, it is going to be elevated at 400 ppm throughout the year. And human emissions of carbon dioxide remained static. Human emissions remained static in 2014-15. No increase in human-induced carbon dioxide in 2014-15. But the biggest problem is with El Nino. The biggest reason for increase in carbon dioxide levels in 2015 is due to El Nino. And you may ask, what is meant by El Nino? Before going into it, why carbon dioxide levels are important? Please look into this slide. We get heat through radiation from sun. From sun, we get heat through radiation, and part of the heat is absorbed by the earth and part of it will be re-radiated back into the atmosphere. Part of it is re-radiated back into the atmosphere, and this re-radiated heat is captured by greenhouse gases. This re-radiated heat is captured by carbon dioxide. If carbon dioxide levels increase, what will happen? The temperature on the globe will increase because this re-radiated heat is captured by carbon dioxide and other greenhouse gases. We will come to little later about other greenhouse gases, and let us stop this discussion here. And as I have already told you, this year's increase is due to El Nino. You may ask, what is meant by El Nino? El Nino is the phenomena which occurs once in few years. It is warming up of the waters near equatorial Pacific region. Please look into this slide. This is a warming up of waters near the equatorial Pacific Ocean adjacent to equatorial regions, basically countries in South America, adjacent to countries in South America, because of a rise in water temperatures, then what will happen? Reversal of wind patterns across the Pacific happens, and subsequently droughts happen in Australasia, and at the same time unseasonal heavy rains happen in South America, and because of these atmospheric changes fire occurs in some places and drier conditions occur in some other places. So this is because of El Nino in equatorial Pacific. And if you look at other aspects as far as this carbon dioxide at 400 ppm is concerned, 22nd Conference of the Parties is going to be held in Marrakesh, Morocco. All of you are familiar with Paris Agreement. It came into force on 4th November and the framework will be devised at Marrakesh. And if you look at the other greenhouse gases, methane increased by 2.5 times and nitrous oxide increased by 1.2 times. And please look into this slide. Predominant greenhouse gases I have given here. Carbon dioxide, that is due to burning of fossil fuels. I have given reasons for release into the atmosphere. Carbon dioxide is basically released because of the burning of fossil fuels like coal, petroleum products. Because of burning of fossil fuels, this carbon dioxide is released. At the same time, deforestation is another reason. Because of deforestation, carbon sink will be reduced. That's why carbon dioxide levels in atmosphere will increase. Then methane. Methane is basically released because of agricultural practices or agricultural activities, waste management. And nitrous oxide is released due to agricultural activities such as usage of fertilizers. And the world's largest greenhouse gas is carbon dioxide, followed by methane, followed by nitrous oxide. These things please don't forget. And we have already learnt pre-industrial levels. The carbon dioxide was 280 ppm. Now it increased to 400 ppm. And from 1750, industrial revolution started. First industrial revolution started somewhere around mid of 18th century. Please look into this slide. Then second industrial revolution, you can say during early 20th century. This is assembly line production. This is second industrial revolution. Then third industrial revolution is basically interconnected world. The advent of internet, interconnection of the world, or you can say global village. This all made possible because of third industrial revolution. And fourth industrial revolution is what is happening now. Driverless cars, internet of things, robots. These are all examples of fourth industrial revolution. And because of first and second phases of industrial revolution, lot of burning of fossil fuels took place. And this is the reason why carbon dioxide levels increased from 280 ppm to 400 ppm. And please look into this slide. Global average temperatures. If you go back to around 1750 or 1800, 13.7 degrees centigrade. Now, as per the available news reports, already they are increased by 1 degree centigrade. I am talking about global average temperatures, 13.7 plus 1 degree centigrade. And the main purpose of Paris Agreement is to limit global average temperatures to 13.7 degrees centigrade plus 2 degrees centigrade by 2100. And please don't forget, this 13.7 degrees centigrade is a tentative and average figure as available from various news reports. And the basic purpose of Paris Agreement is to limit the global increase in temperatures by 2 degrees centigrade, preferably 1.5 degrees centigrade, but already 1 degree centigrade rise took place. And some environmentalists feel that it is not possible to control within 2 degrees centigrade. There is every possibility that world's temperature rise may go up to 3.6 degrees centigrade when you compare it with the pre-industrial levels. And what is the need to limit the global temperatures? We are talking about limiting global temperatures. What is the need? Basically, to prevent the melting of icy glaciers. to prevent the rise of sea levels. Please look into these pictures. To prevent the melting of icy glaciers, to prevent the rise of sea levels, at the same time to reduce the intensity and the occurrence of hurricanes and other storms, and to reduce the intensity and the occurrence of floods, droughts quite frequently. So as to prevent drastic climate changes, global temperature rise is required to be controlled. And finally, I have given what is the need of the hour. The need of the hour is Paris Agreement must be implemented in true letter and spirit by all the member countries. And at the same time, there should be a worldwide action plan to develop new technologies in renewables. Renewables means there's solar as well as wind, similarly bioenergy. So these are all renewables, and there should be worldwide action plan to develop new technologies at a cheaper cost. And Green Climate Fund is proposed under United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change from 2020, and per annum is $100 billion. It may not be sufficient to take care of the needs of developing countries, because developing countries are now in the growth path and millions are to be bring out of poverty line. So under these circumstances, this $100 billion may not be sufficient per annum. And global CO2 concentrations have raised 120 ppm since pre-industrial levels. And the most important aspect is almost 50% of this rise occurred during the past 30 years. So more emphasis should be kept on developing a carbon sink. You may ask, what is meant by carbon sink? Massive afforestation, that is nothing but carbon sink. So massive afforestation or development of greenery is to be ensured because it will absorb carbon dioxide. And development of carbon sink assumed significance in view of the fact that half of the carbon dioxide emitted due to the burning of fossil fuels is absorbed by natural sinks like oceans as well as green cover. So the final comment I have given here, what is the need of the hour? And with this, let us conclude this sixth capsule, that is carbon dioxide at 400 ppm. Right friends, have a nice day. Thank you.